How we doing, YouTubes? I want to make this video so I can just kind of recap all that happened at MTG MagicFest Las Vegas. My first, oh my god, hold on. Jeez, I just looked over and I saw that my cats had knocked over my guitar, I'm assuming, while they're in kitty mode, so I was a little nervous. I'm going to sit here and pretend I'm not anxious about my guitar being broken, and we're just going to, we're going to recap everything that happened at MagicFest Las Vegas, and hopefully share what I thought went well, what didn't go well. Maybe it'll help you when you're going to your first or your next MagicFest. They are a great time. I hope you can get to one sooner than later. If you like Magic, you're going to love MagicFests. Now, the kind of overlay of how our trip went. We planned to drive down Thursday and then drive back the following Monday, which is, it was a lot. Shout out to Cody. He drove all 11 hours each way. We crammed 5 of us into his Jeep. It worked out fine. You know, it's not the most comfortable, but it's kind of fun. You got friends, you're hanging out. I would road trip again, no problem. But we drove down Thursday. Friday, we set up as just doing side events and did not plan to play in the modern main event. None of us are modern players, so that wasn't of really any interest. Saturday, my wife and I played in the limited main event, which was Sealed Crimson Vow. And then assuming we didn't make day 2, we were planning to just do side events on Sunday as well. And then get up Monday, get some breakfast, and then drive home. Some quick tips before we jump into me just kind of rambling about what happened each day. If you are planning to play in a lot of things like sealed or drafts, I would highly recommend the limited Fanatics package. If you're going there with a whole box full of constructed decks, I would recommend the constructed Fanatics package. Both of those sold out at the event, and they usually had some kind of redemption value for whatever tickets you didn't use, so you never really lost money on it, as far as I could tell. And you still got a sweet playmat to go with it. So we got these bad boys if you signed up for the limited main event, or the limited Fanatics package, I should say. I think my one regret is I didn't get it signed, but my other thing was, like, everyone was getting theirs signed, and I just didn't, I don't know, I wanted to just keep it, you know? I can always get it signed later, or I could wait and maybe think of something that could do, like, a custom artwork to it. Point is, I didn't get it signed, but it's still a sweet playmat, and I'm very happy I can add it to my playmat collection. That was actually, like, one of my things I want to make sure I got at a MagicFest was a playmat, and the limited Fanatics package. Check that box for me. The other thing I would recommend is whether or not you're signing up for a limited or constructed package, if you're looking at an event, like I really want to play in these two-headed giant events, or I really want to play in this specific set draft or constructed thing, those I would recommend signing up ahead of time as early as you can, because most things maxed out or, you know, hit their limit, and then you couldn't sign up for them, and it was kind of a bummer when you had someone who's like, I don't care about losing in this event, I'm just going to go over and sign up for that event. And then you'd see them and they couldn't sign up for it because it was already full. Generally speaking, if you're just wanting to draft or play in some event, Magic or Channel Fireball has enough Magic ad hoc events happening that you don't have to worry about just being able to draft. If you want to do something specific though, highly recommend signing up earlier and not missing your chance to actually play in the event you want. Other main thing, I would highly recommend being within walking distance of the convention center, because parking's kind of a pain depending on where you're at. It just helps with logistics if you're there with multiple friends, and being able to walk to and fro, it's just good. It gets you moving, clears the mind a little bit, and just removes any anxiety of having to be tied to your car or someone's car, no matter what you're trying to do. That was just something that I really enjoyed and found value in. So let's just ramble on into the days. So Thursday, the travel day, I guess nothing really too eventful. Thankfully, we didn't hit too much traffic. Had, unfortunately, the worst In-N-Out burger experience I ever thought was even possible. I mean, we drove from Driggs, Idaho, Salt Lake, Las Vegas, and we stopped in Salt Lake strictly to get In-N-Out burger, which I was so excited. I've been looking forward to this for months. I had people in the car who had never even been to In-N-Out burger and will never go back because of how awful it was. I mean, I wish I had a food chemist there with me who could tell me why the fries were like styrofoam. They were the worst French fries I've ever eaten in my entire life. The burger was not great. I'm going to give In-N-Out another chance because that was by no means par for the course. I mean, the line at the restaurant was still through the parking lot and onto the street. So we must have just hit like the worst time ever in In-N-Out's history. I just wanted to vent that frustration to you, I guess. But yeah, we get to Vegas. We get settled in the hotel. We get some dinner at this awesome taco place right on the strip. And then we walked around because my buddy Caleb wanted to do a little gambling. And I was like, hey, man, I'm with you. Let's play some blackjack or whatever. So we find a blackjack table. Vegas has done a really good job of making table games seem even more complicated, not less complicated. And the one table blackjack, or the one card table we could find that had an open seat that was doing anything resembling blackjack, was a $50 minimum bet, which is a little rich for my blood, but so be it. I was like, you know what, I'll do one bet, and my buddy Cody spotted me $50 because I did not have any cash on me, and Caleb and I both sit down, throw $50 down, make our one bet, and just awkwardly fumble through this hand. I think I was dealt a 19. Caleb was dealt 7s, got to split them for free, and then busted on both, which was very unfortunate. And then the dealer, showing an 8, turned over 18 and had to stay, which means I won and he lost. So basically Caleb handed me his $50, which meant for me, Vegas was off to a great start. For him, not so much, but that was the extent of my Las Vegas gambling. I was actually expecting to do a little more, but then realized they don't really have like $1 or $5 blackjack tables on the strip, and I didn't really go off strip to any casinos because that was by no means the priority of my trip. But it's Las Vegas, right? Like, when in Rome, when in Vegas, you got to do a little gambling. $50 though, a little excessive. Then Friday rolls around, and now it's time for the wife and I to play in some Two-Headed Giant, which we signed up for ahead of time, and then we were just gonna see how that went. So Two-Headed Giant hits. Crimson Vow, we get 12 booster packs. In those 12 booster packs, we get 0 mythics and I think 6 unplayable rares, and what ultimately ended up being like 3 playable rares in our card pool. It was the worst Two-Headed Giant card pool I've ever seen, but we're still like, whatever, we're just here, we're excited. First match, we get walloped on. That was unexpected. The second match, we drew. Yes, we played 2 guys. They were awesome, had a great time playing them. And it wound up being a draw. Once time was called, we were at our starting life total. They were above their starting life total, and we just looked at each other and said, is this a draw? We just say this is a draw? Everyone okay with a draw? Yes, great. And then we got to leave a little early, get some to eat, and then come back for our third match. And for our third match, we were matched up against the same 2 guys, which we, of course, went to the judge and said, hey, you realize that we are matched against the same 2 people? And they said, yes. There's another team, similar situation. Don't worry, we're working on it. Go back to your table. We'll bring you new match slips, and then you'll be good to go. So we hung out for another 10-15 minutes, and then sat down, saw the match slips being passed out, finally got ours, and it had us against the same 2 people. So we just looked at each other, they're like, all right, we're just going to concede to you, and then we all split the tickets. And it was perfect. So we ended up saving an hour. I guess we kind of wanted to play, but we already knew our deck was terrible. They weren't exactly excited about their decks either, and then we all got to walk away with 100 prize tickets. So went up to the front, traded them in. Great. Then we walked around, checked out the artist booths, and my wife was looking for something that she wants. You know, we've got a couple cats now, so she was trying to find something. She's always wanted like a cat, dragon, dinosaur kind of, like just some kind of amalgamation of that. And she saw from our new favorite art. I'm not gonna say it. You gotta figure out who's our new favorite artist. They did this. What was it? This is the secret layer version of this card, which I did buy her the foil version from Emonket, and it's in her equipment cat deck. But it's an Ohio artist, so that was something that we bonded over, and we've both survived COVID, which is something that we also bonded over. And I don't know, she was just awesome. Got her some stickers, got her this playmat, and I asked her if she could do a little custom doodle. You may notice she drew a dragon wing on it, which to me makes this a priceless custom playmat. My wife loves it, and this will be one of her Christmas presents for sure. Love that thing. That's the only secret layer I wish I would have bought strictly for that card because, well, that's now my wife's new favorite card. But that was awesome. Like, we just got to chat with some artists, support some, buy some stuff. My buddy Cody had like a stack of cards to get signed, and I thought he had a lot of cards to get signed. This one guy had an uncut Urza sheet, which he waited in line for Mark Teden to sign a whole bunch of it. I mean, hey, do your thing. I was envious of his collection. It was impressive how many people had gobs of cards to sign. That was a reality check for me of like, wow, this is not an uncommon thing, and some people are going ham on getting their cards signed. And I love that they're supporting the artists, and the artists have this kind of cool system now where you can pick the kind of signature you want. They do like different alterations to it. I don't know. I just loved all of it. After that, I think we just hung out. I don't think we did any drafting on Friday, but we did sign up for the Sealed League. So something that I would definitely recommend if you just enjoy Limited, but you don't want to have like a tense environment. The most chill event, if you're playing one-on-one, are the sealed leagues. And they had us, for us, it was $35. You get 6 packs, and then you get 3 match vouchers. So you could play against your friends, you could play against any stranger you want, but basically if you're hanging out in the zone, that was identified by like these 2 teal pillars, if you were in the zone, you were there to play sealed league. And you could build your deck, and then when you're ready, you just go, hey judge, me and my wife want to play. Okay, great, each give me a ticket, they throw some prize tickets down, and then you can essentially decide how you want to do it. Winner takes all, or like, I think it was 60 prize tickets, so you could do winner gets 40, loser gets 20, however you want to do it. But it's super laid back. People are there to just play semi-competitive sealed, get some cards, get some prize tickets, have a good time. And the cool thing was too, if you really liked your deck, you could just buy back in for $20, get more prize tickets, use the same deck. Or, yeah, I mean, if like, here's another pro tip. If you just want to get more packs and keep playing the same deck, you can pay the $35 and just use your old deck. Do not combine card pools. That's a shady thing to do. But in the spirit of it, the point is to play your sealed deck. Whether you want to use your sealed deck from your first pool or your second pool, I don't think anyone cares about that. As long as you're not combining cards and for whatever reason trying to really cheat your way to an extra 60 prize tickets, which is a bit, I mean, that would be you'd have to have a fairly low moral floor to worry about that. But my buddy Caleb did that a lot. He really enjoyed that. That was probably like his favorite thing to do. And it was great prep for the main event that we played on Saturday. So after doing some sealed league, day was over, got some dinner, great. Now Saturday comes, main event time. This is my first time playing in a main event by myself. I had played in a 3-person team main event, which was fun. We did that down in Denver for Guilds of Ravnica, and our card pool was pretty awful. So, I mean, just knowing sealed, your card pool is going to be pretty indicative of how much potential you really even have in this event. So the way it worked is Channel Fireball was really on top of, here's everything we're going to do in order to get ready for the main event. You get your table placements, you have to open your packs in a certain order, you have to register the cards in a certain order, and then you get some time for deck building, and then you're into the matches. So my wife and I, different sides of the monster-sized room, I think there was like 1,900 people in the event, and we're opening up packs, and I observed the person across from me first, and then they watched me open my packs. Me watching this guy open his packs, I felt awful. First 3 or 4 rares were borderline unplayable and just terrible, and by the time he's opening his 6th pack, he's like, I think I'm just going to drop because this card pool is absolute garbage. It was depressingly bad. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, that hopefully means my card pool can't be absolutely terrible, and spoiler alert, my card pool was, I think, pretty darn good. I think it was almost as good as anyone else's there. I opened first pack Sorin Planeswalker, then I opened the 2/1 flying black rare that when you have 5 blood tokens, flip it, and then it turns a blood token into a 2/2 bat. I had the 3/1 black zombie horse guy that when he dies, or another zombie, non-token zombie control dies, you get a 2/2 zombie token. And then I had the black demon. And if you've ever played any Crimson Vow Limited, you've ran into the demon. So I had like 4 really good, if not really broken, rare mythic rares in black. My card pool was a little short on limited, or unlimited on removal. And I didn't have a ton of early drops. So that was my kind of like, uh-oh, this may not go great. But I feel like I definitely had a card pool that was day 2 potential. Yeah, and then long story short, we're into the games. So match 1, I won pretty handedly, but the guy I was playing was awesome. I cannot remember his name. I'm kind of upset with myself that I can't remember his name, but he gave me a blood token that was like an RK Post custom one that RK Post had signed, and he just gave it to me, like just for playing him. He's like, oh, you're doing blood token things? Here, have this token. I'm like, have it? Like I can keep this? Yeah. Wow, like that just made my event. That was a super cool thing that he did whilst we were playing Magic. Round 2, I ended up playing a guy who I could tell, very intense, good Magic player, lots of competitive experience, bit of an angle shooter, which I loathe with every fiber of my being, but I also understand it is the reality of the situation, and at some point you have to draw a line in the sand about what triggers, when triggers are missed, and how you handle it, and whatever. But I realized it was an eye-opening experience for me, in that people will be sneaky, and will be like, okay, I'm going to layer these triggers one after another. Are you okay with that? Great, I'm going to do this. You okay with that? Great. And like they kind of get you in a pattern, and as soon as you move past something that's going to benefit you and you realize it, they're immediately ready to say, nope, we're already past that, sorry, too bad. That happened with me. It was an immaterial impact on the game. I called the judge over, I contested the judge's ruling, and the other judge, you know, explained it to me. Everyone was very nice. I hated that I knew in hindsight he did everything on purpose to have me miss this trigger. And it just irked me. But it's on me. At the end of the day, that's on me for missing my trigger. But the point is, I lost match 2 convincingly. Had just bad mana problems. I got him down to low single digits, but just ran out of gas by like turn 5. It was really unfortunate. I didn't even have an aggro deck. I just either flooded out or had no mana. So it was a frustrating loss. I know I had a better deck. It just did not show out in that match. So I was 1-1. My wife, although I lost the second match, my wife runs over midway through game 2, and she is ecstatic. She's got her match slip, and she won her first match ever in a big event. She had lost the first one, I think 1-2, and she was just happy to have won a game. Like, that was her ultimate goal. But she smashed this guy in match 2, and I was like, that's really awesome. I checked out her deck. She had black, green, I think kind of big butts. She had the gold card. She had the 4/4 that can flip into an 8/8 and pump your team. She had the 2/2 that can cheat creatures in. Like, she had a pretty solid deck, and she built it. No help from me. None whatsoever. I was just like, okay, I'm seeing her competitive side come out, and she is into it, and she's kicking butt, which was another just fantastic thing to see. Going to match 3, I played a black-red vampires deck. So, I ended up being black-white. I was black-white just because that gave me the best curve and some interaction. I was up against the black-red vampires, and I just kind of rolled over them too. I mean, I got Demon out. Once you get Demon out, usually it's like game over. But I went 2-0 there, and then match 4, I smashed as well. So I'm 3-1. My wife's 2-2 at this point, and then we go into match 5. And my wife ends up losing. She's now 2-3 and decides to drop. And I go up against red, green werewolves. And our decks, I want to say, were pretty evenly matched. He had 3 or 4 really good rares, including the red rare, that when it's dealt damage, the werewolf, when it's dealt damage any target, or when it flips, you deal damage from any permanent to anything else. Or whenever a permanent you control is dealt damage, you deal that much damage to any target. Like, that card is absolutely busted. And he played it all 3 games. I'm pretty sure on curve or close to curve. He had the 3/5 that when it ETBs or when it attacks, you can get a basic land, and then for 6 you can create insects. He got that out all 3 games. It was just rough. So I lost game 1, won game 2. Game 3 I had to mull to 5 and keep an awful hand, and he just curved out, and I was really frustrated. Again, I knew my deck was as good, if not better, and it just did not work. It just didn't work. So I'm now 3-2, still hanging on. Go to match 4, or go to match 6. I'm up against a mirror matchup. He's got the demon. He's got a lot of board wipes, but my Sorin Planeswalker was kind of the difference maker there, and I just curved out and played solid games and won 2-0 there. So now I'm 4-2. And now into the next match, match 7. And at this point, it's I think 6:37 p.m. Like, it's late. We've been playing Magic for 9 straight hours. Sit down against the table from a guy named Jin Sung, and he was hilarious. I knew I was going to have a good time playing against this kid, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't lose to him. Like, that was my goal. He sits down, he's like, I am really upset with myself. I've already misplayed too many times to even have 2 matches. I should not have 2 match losses. If I don't make day 2, I'm be pretty upset. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm going to be pretty upset if I also don't make day 2. And we're just joking about loser here gets to play more Magic, and the next one has to go get dinner with their friends. Like, that's a bad thing. You know, so we're just laughing, we're having a good time. Game 1, he's playing blue-black. And game 1 was really decided. I think I went first. Nothing on turn 1, nothing on turn 1, nothing on turn 2. He had nothing on turn 2. Turn 3, I go to play the spell that's lose 2, draw 2, create a blood token. And he syncopates it for 1. And as soon as he did that, I was like, I think I just lost, because I needed to hit my 4th land, which I was banking on that card to do it for me. And I think I was waiting on my 2nd black land, which I was also desperately needing. When he did that, I missed a couple land drops. It got real clunky. He then played the demon on curve, and I was done for, because I did not draw my removal for it in time. And once he had 2 or 3 demons, the game is over, which was unfortunate. Game 2, he had to mulligan down to 5 or 6 himself, and I curved out, well, Did not play my demon, did not play my Sorin Planeswalker to try and keep those pieces held close to the chest. But won game 2. And then game 3 was rough because I'm on the draw. Oh, look at my starting hand. It's got 2 white mana. I have a 2 white mana drop, and then I have a 3-drop that I have a 3-drop with swamp or white mana. So as long as I can draw my 3rd land, I'm feeling pretty good. I decide to keep. It was a gutsy keep. I keep. He turn 1 nothing, turn 2 nothing. So I still play my 2-drop in the hopes to pull out his Syncopate, and he hesitates like he has Syncopate. So I'm like, okay, well done. Even just bluffing it was the right thing to do there. He did not counter my 2-drop though. So I can start applying some pressure. Turn 3 comes, he plays nothing again. So now I'm a little hesitant because I do not want to get one of my 3-drops countered. I need these to stick for me to even have a chance in this game. But thankfully I hit my 3rd land, and it is a swamp, so I've got both colors. I need to get a 2nd swap for my bombs, but we're working on it. I play another 2-drop because I didn't want to get my 3-drop syncopated, and I didn't mind the 2-drop if it did, and I thought it was the 1/1 with double strike. So if he had syncopated it, he could have seen some value there. I just wanted to get that card out of his hand. He did not syncopate it, unfortunately. It got into a pretty much of a stall match. We were kind of poking each other. I get Sorin down. Once I get Sorin down the next turn, he played Demon. Or no, he didn't play Demon, but he discarded Demon, and then he played Edgar's Awakening and got Demon out. And then we just went in this back and forth. And it was, as I would describe, my most intense game of Magic I've ever played. And I kept digging and digging to get my lands so I could play. I drew my Demon, but I didn't have the land for it. And I finally worked my way into removing his Demon and then playing, or removing one of his 2 demons and then playing my Demon. And the game essentially comes to this decision point. I've got 2 demons in play. He has 2 demons in play. I've got a bat token. I'm at 9 life. He's at, I think, like 18 or something. So he swings at me with both demons. So I have to block 1 or else I lose. And he's got a lot of mana up. And I decided with 2 bat tokens and 2 demons to block one of his demons with one of my demons and then chump block the other demon with a bat token just to make sure everything's blocked and I don't somehow lose here. He says, okay, go to damage. I'm like, oh, great. We both have 1 demon left. I have a bat token. And then he says, remove your other demon. He had a removal spell at sorcery speed to take it out. And right then I realized I had made far too hasty a decision and probably just lost the game because I did not have removal in my hand for his other demon. What I should have stopped and thought about was, okay, there's no way he has a card that gives himself trample or a way to do any damage to me beyond whatever combat damage I let through. And the part I got frustrated with myself on was the whole time leading into the event, I knew I just needed to slow down and take my time with decision making. And this was a crucial decision. And he found a line that he knew he was essentially beat. He's like, all right, there's no way I beat him if he is willing to block at all. But if I can swing with both my demons and I can get rid of one in combat and then remove the other, I got a chance. And I made the worst decision possible by, instead of like committing all in and having both demons block both, or having no demons block and just taking the least, maybe the most conservative route and just maybe chumping one with a bat token to make sure I don't die to damage. Oh, hi, Jax. Instead, I just kind of flippantly decided, oh, I'm ahead. I have 2 demons and 2 bat tokens. He just has 2 demons. I'm going to be okay. And I was not okay. I just unfortunately made too hasty a decision and lost my advantage. And from there, I was unable to find removal for his other bat token, or for his other demon. I'm down to 3. I go to draw my card, and I'm kind of rushing ahead a little bit, but I draw my card. I draw Bleed Dry. I go to Bleed Dry his other demon, which would allow me to attack in for the exact lethal damage, but he had another Syncopate, and he syncopated it, and he won, and I was very sad. So I was... And like, I just knew, like, he and I both knew whoever won this was definitely going to win their next match and make it to day 2. So I was one decision away from day 2, and that was by far the most gutting thing about the event, because I definitely knew I had a good deck, I had a good card pool, and I just did not play well enough in the opportunities I had, you know, the option to even have an impact on the outcome. So that was gutting. But we went to dinner. It was an awesome dinner. We had a great time. And then Sunday was just kind of a hangout day. We did another two-headed giant. We opened 12 more packs. I got the exact same 6 unplayable rares and no mythics. So between the two-headed giant events that my wife and I did, we had 24 packs, 0 mythics, 6 duplicate rares, all of which were unplayable, and they were, again, garbage card pools. But I did pull an Angie, and we lost the first round to people that just had obnoxiously good card pools, like suspiciously good card pools. Round 2, we won because we were just able to drain them out, and then round 3, we didn't have anyone show up, so we got gifted another win. Jax, what is wrong, buddy? And it was just really fun. I mean, we had a great time, and then we jumped into some mystery booster drafts, which I would do 100 times out of 100. Gosh, I wish we could do more of those. And just in looking back, even though I lost in the main event, it actually gave me a lot of confidence to realize that I am a good Magic player, and I do not need to doubt myself or think that my opponent always has better cards than me. I need to have confidence in my decision making and not rush anything or ever assume that I've either won or lost. I just need to take my time. I was just really happy that I did gain the confidence I did from a loss. I think that's usually how you grow as a Magic player, though, is growing from those losses. So yeah, I think that's kind of it. MagicFest, I feel like Channel Fireball did a great job. Friday was a little clunky, but it was, I mean, it's the first day back after like a 2-year hiatus due to COVID. And then Saturday and Sunday both felt a bit smoother. You could tell people were getting their feet under them. Everyone that was working the event, y'all were great. I had 0 complaints about the staff. Everyone that I even interacted with remotely was fantastic. And I really commend all the people that put all the time and effort into going out and traveling and making these events happen. Everyone I played with, save the people that pride themselves on angle shooting, were awesome to talk to. And even in talking to them, at least I learned their ways a little bit. You know, I feel like I'm a more well-rounded competitive Magic player now, and I can spot the signs a bit better, at least for how some people are going to set you up to lose, you know, when you have a better chance of winning than they may, or than you may realize. And I'm genuinely excited for the next MagicFest. I'm definitely looking forward to going to Vegas again, assuming it's around the same time of year. I think the secret was we got this vacation pre-Thanksgiving, and now tomorrow's Thanksgiving. That's pretty awesome. It was also my birthday on Tuesday, so this was kind of like my birthday present, was going to Vegas, getting to spend more money than you should on Magic, at least over the course of one weekend, and getting to like hang out with friends. My friend Cody getting to play with Johannes Voss, Commander games with him. People getting some of their favorite cards signed by artists. Seeing people just enjoy Magic and grow, you know, in their confidence. Not just me, but my wife, my buddies who were playing in other events. I think the event, all in all, was a huge success. I hope we can go again soon. I hope we can get the same amount of people, more people coming. Yeah, and if you can go, I would highly recommend it. That's really it for me. I think the last thing was, shout out to Ultra Pro. There was a guy, God, I can't remember his name either. I'm so upset. But he was giving out deck boxes and free playmats. I got this other free playmat. It's a Strixhaven alternate art card, but I do not know the name of the card. If you know the name of the card, let me know in the comments, because I do not know this one. But it was just my coolest, I thought it was the coolest looking one. So I wound up with 2 playmats. I had a goal of getting 1, wound up with 2. I had a goal of making day 2. I was all in all 1 win short. And even though I didn't make day 2, I think it did help me grow tremendously as a Magic player. And I look forward to redeeming myself at some point at the next limited main event. So with that, I appreciate y'all watching. Hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Safe travels. Take it easy, my friends, and we'll see you in the next video. And shout out again to Jin Sung. It was awesome playing with you, man. I appreciate you letting me bug you during day 2 of the main event, and hope that you had a good time. Well-deserved win, and look forward to playing you again. All right, we'll see y'all. Peace.